So, happy New Year's Eve, YouTube. We have a game on New Year's Day. Let's hope the New Year starts better than this year has ended, because we are absolutely in dire straits right now. We're useless. We've only got more wins than 2 Premier League teams this season, which is shocking. And I see something today, earlier on when I was doing a little bit of research for this, that it's the first time since the Premier League started that we've not been in the top half going into New Year, which is pretty mad. It's the first time since 1959, which my old man was 1 at the time, that we've lost 4 consecutive home games in all competitions, which is, again, crazy. And it's our worst form since 1975 in the league. So it's not been a great 2019. Obviously, if you do want to check out some of the videos I've done the worst moments in the last decade. That dropped to about 5:30. So that's on the channel. I've done goal of the decade, player of the decade in the same video. Go and check that out. And I've done player and goal of 2019, although I did pick a goal from 2018 because I'm a bit of a clown. But also, in about 50 minutes time from now, 10 best moments of the decade will be dropping on the channel. So I've spoiled you lot. You lot have got a lot of content out of me. I'm going to keep the stream as short as possible. We've got the Morgan Spicer and Coke on the go. We want to enjoy New Year's Eve and celebrate into 2020. So anyway, we've got Man United. How the mighty have fallen. It used to be the biggest game of the season. It used to be a title decider. And now it's just 2 clubs that are trying to outdo each other for banter. At the moment, Arsenal are the banter club. And Man United, I think they're 5th in the table. I don't think Pogba's travelled. All the reports I've seen are saying Pogba didn't travel. I think they came down on a train. Pogba didn't travel. But listen, they're in pretty decent form, Man United, and we're not. And when you look at their front 3 running at our makeshift back 4, it's not going to be an easy game. Obviously, yes, we've got players that can score goals. Lacazette, Pepe, if he even starts the game. Aubameyang, 2nd top scorer in the Premier League, I think he is. So we can trouble them. We can score goals against them. But at the same time, we can't defend. We proved that again against Chelsea the other day in what I thought was the best game we've played probably all year. Or definitely this season anyway. Because pretty much every single game we've played this season, we've just rolled over and died straight away. But that game, I actually see a little bit of heart and hunger and determination. And ultimately, a cock-up from our goalkeeper. And, yeah, then we went on to lose the game. But it is what it is. Let's hope we start the new year with a bang. Let's hope we start the new year with a win. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Man United are up there with Chelsea and Tottenham for me. I cannot stand this lot. They're so mouthy, or used to be mouthy, until Sir Alex Ferguson decided to jack it in. And then since then, they've just gone whoosh, straight back down. And they've turned into a banter club as well. And it's kind of sad because when I was growing up, I used to like the Arsenal Man United games. It always used to be whoever won that game wins the title pretty much. But not anymore. It's now whoever wins that game might get in the top 6. There we go. So I'm going to get into my 1 to 11. Do drive the likes up. Big up the real ones in the chat. And I'll come back to some of them in a minute. 125 people watching this live, so thank you very much. I know it is New Year's Eve. I probably should have done the stream a lot earlier, but I've been mad busy today. So I'm going to go with Leno in goal. Hopefully he can put a man of the match performance in. Hopefully he won't need to, actually, but hopefully he doesn't come out doing a flappy Ansky and start doing Supermans in the box again. Just stay on your line, mate. He's been really good recently, and that cock-up, hope it hasn't dented his confidence. But I'm going to go with him. Left back, Saka. Obviously, both our left backs are out until January at least. Right back, Maitland-Niles. I actually thought he played really well the other day. He was up against Hudson-Odoi for the last part of the second half. And I don't think Hudson-Odoi got a kick, did he? But I'm going to go with him. Centre-backs, Agent Louise. He was actually decent player, Louise, the other night against Chelsea. So I'm going to go with him. Socrates is concussed as far as I'm aware. So that probably means Mustafi's going to play because Callum Chambers is out for the rest of the season. Excuse me while I sip my drink. But yeah, Callum Chambers, that's sad because I think he's actually played pretty decent at centre-back this season. So I'm going to go with that as a back 2 with the wing-back or the full-backs. On to midfield. You boys know and girls know I'm not going to pick Granit Xhaka, the Albanian. He ain't getting in my team. I'll never pick him. So I'm going to go with Joe Willock, because Guendouzi's suspended for this game. Next to him, I'm going to go with Lucas Torreira. Could have been man of the match against Chelsea the other night or afternoon. I thought he was superb. The way he was just up and down, marshalling that back line. Chelsea didn't really cause a massive threat in that game. Didn't have any real clear-cut chances. And then bang, bang, 2 goals, which you couldn't blame him for. I blamed him partially for the goal against Bournemouth in the previous game. He weren't tracking his man quick enough. But yeah, I think he's looking back to his best. And we're going to need him in that midfield because he's the one guy that can get stuck in. He don't care. He'll just get aggressive with people. He'll track people. He'll be a pest. And hopefully he can marshal that back line. But that's my 2 in midfield. 3 in front of them. This is where I get a little bit, I don't know what to do because I'm looking at it thinking, I really want to put Pepe in my team. But then I've said at the same time, if you play well, you keep the shirt. And Reece Nelson, I thought played all right the other day. But I am going to put Pepe in. I'm going to put Pepe on the right wing. And if he doesn't start and Arteta don't pick him, just transfer list him. So Pepe on the right. Left-hand side, I'm going to go with... I don't want to do this either, but I'm going to go with Aubameyang. I'd rather put him up front. But the amount of injuries we've got in the squad right now, I'm going to go with Aubameyang left. Mesut Ozil, the best number 10 ever to have graced world football. I'm joking. But I'm going to put him in. And I thought he was superb the other day. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'm going to go with him. And then up front, Lacazette better turn up for a big game because I thought he was poor in possession the other day and good without possession. I thought his work rate was immense. But with the ball, he was shocking. And he does normally turn up in big games, to be fair. But hopefully that 11 is picked. Mustafi, whether you love him or not, I think he's actually been all right this season. I don't blame him for that goal the other day, the second goal. I don't think he should have been on the pitch. I think he should have been subbed after the clash of heads. But yeah, that's my 11. How do I see the game going? Well, they're going to come at us. Nobody's scared of us anymore, are they? Let's be real. The Emirates isn't a fortress. They've beaten us a few times over the last couple of years at the Emirates, albeit we've done them last season in the league. David De Gea had a mare that day. Lukaku, with his Timberlands on, was just shanking shots everywhere. But they haven't got him now. They've got Rashford, and he's a little bit more potent. Martial, Dan James. You could go with anyone in that position up against Saka, up against Maitland-Niles. It's going to be a tough day for him. Dan James is a good player. Rashford's decent, although I don't rate him that highly. But Martial, that guy can twist up anyone. And Maitland-Niles is going to have to be on his job properly if he goes on that side. If he's on Saka's side, equally, he's going to have to step his game up because Martial, like I said, he can do anything, man. That kid is so good. Kind of gutted he plays for United because I think he'd get in Arsenal's team in a heartbeat, just straight away. Adichia says Ceballos return and Holding also. Thing is, these players have been out for months, man, like weeks and months. You can't just chuck them into Man United. And the thing is, if you rush them back, like we did with Bellerin, automatically, bang, you're down again. So not for me. But like I said, I think this game is going to be, it's going to be weird because if you look at our teams on paper, I think they've got a better starting 11 than us. But I think we've got better individuals in certain positions. Their 11 as a collective is better than ours. I think that's a fact. But when you look at the fact that we've got the top goal scorer, or one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League, but then Rashford on the opposite side, he's got, what, 16 goals this season in all competitions. You look at Martial's back now. Like I said, I think he could be one of the best in the world. I think he needs to leave United to go on and prove that. And then you look into the midfield. The midfield for both of our teams is absolutely whack. It is just not good enough. And that's where that game's going to be won and lost. And then when it does come down to the chances, it's who's the most clinical. I do see there being a lot of goals in this game. So I'm going to go with a score prediction of Desmond 2-2. I'm going with a 2-2. I'll change my name if we win tomorrow. Mate, you've got too many numbers in your name, bro. But thank you for that. So I'm going to go over 2-2. I do think we'll score first. We'll probably then go behind because that's what we do. And then we'll equalise in about the 99th minute or something stupid. But I think that Aubameyang has scored the first goal. and it'll be a 2-2. I don't think we'll start with a win to the new year, sadly. But thank you to everyone in the chat. I'm going to read some of these out for the next 5 minutes or so. Do drive the likes up. 225 watching this live right now. 35 likes is disgraceful. So what are you playing at, man? Come on. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Let's get it up to 100. You've watched my streams for long enough. We all tap the likes and get it up to 100. Let's go with some of these comments. I see us beating United beating us 2-1, says Omar. Evening, bruv. Greenwood versus Martinelli. Who is better? Martinelli all day long. Evening, Tyrone. Some of your comments are lit. I can't even read half of these out. Kerry says 2-2. Evening to you. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat, by the way. Some of you, it might even be New Year's Day where you're at as well. I know that some of you are on different time scales because you're not in the UK. We're currently at 10 to 8 at night. Some of you might have only just started New Year's Eve. So listen, you've still got a long way to go. Guendouzi isn't suspended. It's 10 games for a suspension. I think he is suspended for 5 games, mate. And then the second after Christmas is 10. Or after New Year. I think if you get 5, it's a suspension. And I'm pretty sure it is actually. 1 sec, I've got it on here. I'm pretty sure he is suspended. It's a 5 yellow cards. 1 second. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I'm sure it's 5 games. I may be wrong. Listen, I'm not always right. But I'm pretty sure it is a suspension. I'm sure they said that in commentary the other night. United are on a good run. We must not get another L, says Max. Well, the only game they've looked crap in is the Watford game recently. Other than that, they've been pretty good, haven't they? They've been pretty decent. Are you selling merch? Yes, I will be dropping some of this in January. I've got loads of stuff lined up, not just LG. Life's good. Not that I'm nicking the TV company's logo or anything. You know what I'm saying? That is actually my initials. But yeah, I will be dropping a lot of that in January, so keep your eyes peeled. Second week of January, hopefully the website will be set up and we'll be putting stuff out there. Martinelli's back. Yes, I don't think he's quite ready yet. Let's try Pepe at number 10 rather than Lazy Ozil, says Bader. Well, he wasn't Lazy Ozil the other night. That's for sure. I thought he was superb. And it was only for the fact that Aubameyang scored and had the work rate that I gave him man of the match. Otherwise, I would have given it to Ozil. But you guys know I don't really have it with Ozil. But credit where it's due. He played really well the other day. Arsenal could be 15th if they lose, says Anthony. Evening to you, mate. They have not been playing good. They just took advantage of the mistakes against opponents like Newcastle. Well, you have to be in the right spot at the right time. And sometimes you force them mistakes. The fact that they're getting wins, they got the points on the board. I'd rather have 3 points than no points. And we ain't taken hardly any points this year. It's kind of embarrassing, man. 5 wins out of 20. Pepe or Rashford? Wait, that's a hard question. I don't rate Rashford, you know. But Pepe ain't really had a run. So it's hard to tell, man. It's hard to tell because if you look at Rashford's stats before this season, it's about what Pepe's on this season. So I don't know. Give Pepe the run of 10 games and we'll see a real Pepe, whether that's good or bad. Virgil van Dijk chose us because we're a bigger club. Well, you are a bigger club than Arsenal. Let's be real. You are. It's Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal. They're the top 3 clubs in the country, mate. So, yeah, Van Dijk was always going to go to Liverpool over us. Rashford is Premier League proven, says Michael. Well, so was Fernando Torres, and he flopped at Chelsea, bruv. Trashford and Jesse Bingham. Oh, you know that little rat's going to score tomorrow, innit? You know that little rat, and he'll start moonwalking or something. I was there when he moonwalked that day. I swear to God. Fuming. And that was the night Sanchez scored as well and celebrated in front of me as well. Comment of the decade. No, I can't read that, bruv. You're mad. You're crazy. Nelson can switch to left wing. He does track back and help Saka. Then Pepe can play the left side. I think you mean the right side. Putting Laka in second half might be better, says Dang. El Rossi, evening to you. Who was in the United team that you would take at Arsenal? Well, the goalkeeper for starters, Martial for seconds. I think that's probably about it, if I'm honest. Although all of their defenders are better than ours, let's be real. All of their centre backs definitely. I don't rate Luke Shaw, but I'd rather have him at left back than Saka. I wouldn't have him over Tierney though, let's be real. But yeah, probably only the goalkeeper and Martial, mate. Right, I'm going to do a couple more minutes of this. I'm getting out of here. Still not even anywhere near 100 likes. You lot are taking liberties tonight. Happy New Year, Canada Soccer. Hope you're good. Evening, Thomas. How are we going to stop the counter attack? Just 2-foot them. Or just do tactical fouls, man. As soon as they're on the counter, just try and do a little barge into them and knock them off the ball. I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know. This is why Mikel Arteta is getting paid £5 million a season or £6 million a season to make these decisions and figure out what to do. Do you rate Harry Maguire? No, I don't. I actually don't, mate. Laka was a super sub last season for a spell. Let's try that again, says Kevin. Evening, mate. Yeah, he was, and it was working well. Mikel Arteta obviously rates him, but he's putting Aubameyang left. And I know I've done that today in my starting 11. But at the same time, going forward, I don't think we can play them together. I think we need a left winger, whether that be Martinelli, Ryan Fraser, Carrasco, or anybody else, Draxler. We ain't been linked to him yet. We normally are, although it is only January tomorrow, so we've still got another 30 odd days, haven't we? Tierney ain't Robertson's level. Who said he was? Who said he was? Robertson's the best left back in the world, mate. Yeah, Canate in along with Upham and Khan, though. Evening, DVS Dallas. Hope you're well. I would buy both of them. Definitely, £100 million. Go and get that defence sorted straight away. Laka and Iber can't play together. It affects the balance. I agree, because if Aubameyang can't be bothered to track back, I know he did against Chelsea, but if he can't be bothered, then that leaves our left back exposed every single time. And then you get overlaps, and all of a sudden, your midfield's not in the right position. You're not tracking your runners, and then they score every time. Hey Lee, I am from Sudan. I'm an Arsenal fan, and Arsenal must win tomorrow. Big up yourself, bruv. I'd love to read your name, but I can't read that, bruv. But big up yourself. Hope you're good. Evening, Gary. Hope you're well, mate. Happy New Year to you and the wifey and that. Do you rate Pogba? For about 2 months of the year, yes, he's world class. The rest of it, my man does an Ozil and disappears. Tierney will be better than him, says Tyra. I don't know. That Robertson's class, man. Our left back ain't even a left back. Our right back ain't a right back either, mate. Right, I'm going to do 3 more comments and I'm getting out of here. Ceballos is back. Would you start him? No chance. I wouldn't start him at all, mate. He's been out for too long to throw him into a big game like this. Maybe starting him against Leeds United or something. We have lost 4 games since at home since 1959. Yep, we have. One more comment. Who is going to win the league first, us or United? Probably United, if I'm honest, mate, because they can just throw stupid amounts of money at it. Why is Lee so peng? Thank you. On that note, we'll leave it on a happy one. Happy New Year to every single one of you. Big up yourselves, all of you, every single one of you that have watched this channel this year. Nearly 9 million people have watched this channel, or 9 million views. Obviously repeat viewers and all that, but yeah, nearly 33,000 subs as well. It's ridiculous. So always blessed, always humble, always trying to do better. And thank you to every single one of you. I hope all of you have a sick New Year's Eve. And if you're already on New Year's Day, happy New Year's Day. And I will be back tomorrow with the daily transfer update. No rest for the wicked on New Year's Day. And then I'll be doing a starting 11 reaction now before kickoff and a live watch along with Guna Eagle Eye. Check his link out in the description. Don't forget, in half an hour from now, the 10 best Arsenal moments of the decade. My 10. They're not in any particular order. Go and check out the video I dropped before this, where I did the 10 worst moments in the last decade. Yeah, I could have picked 10,010, but there we go. So go and check that out. Go and check out the player of the decade, goal of the decade, team of the decade, player of the year, goal of the year. Thank you very much for all the love. I'm out of here. Happy New Year, people. Laters.